Ring else after? Yeah. Well, it ain't over till it's over. And we're still in Golos. But we're a lot closer. Sometimes it felt like that's it. I'm not saying David, Psalm number 20. Yan Adonai, B'yem Tzara, Hashem has to answer us on the day of our distress. Yisagevcha, Shem Elohei Yankev, should give us support. Yishach Ezoham Mekaidesh, and help from the holy place. Umitziye, and from Jerusalem, Yisadeka, Yizker, Kol Min Chaysecha, he should recall all your devotionals, your offerings, the things you sacrificed for his name. Your burnt offerings, the Dashna Sela, should be accepted graciously. And he should grant all your heart's requests. Enable you to fulfill all your good. Moriah, what was your good resolution?
So my good resolution for Rosh Hashanah was to stop listening to non-Jewish music.
To what?
To stop listening to non-Jewish music.
Stop listening to non-Jewish music. You hear that?
Wow.
Wow. Good for you. Good for you. I used to drive a car. Driving a car, it was a tremendous Yetzer Hara not to turn on the radio.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But you got to do it. It's like taking a sewer and running it through. You clean up your house and then run a sewer through it. Mess everything up with foreign feelings and foreign thoughts. You have to keep you know what's some of the hardest things to do is to keep your eyes clean. I have a brother-in-law. Almost never. He looks in the Gemara. He's a Rosh Hashiva. He learns a lot, and he's always looking at a sefer. And he leads a very clean life. A very nice person, but he doesn't look around. Does not look around. Very careful. It's called Shmiras Ha'einayim, taking care of your eyes. Just like you have to Shmiras Ha'peh, Al-Lashon, Shmiras Al-Lashon, you have to be careful what you say. Very, very careful what you say. Only to say positive things. That's like Mrs. Pape. She only says positive things. She doesn't say anything against someone else. Never. Even a hint of something, a subject that would suggest, make people think about someone else. After a whole chain of associations, they would come to some, oh yeah, not like so-and-so. You have to be so careful not even to, that's called the dust of Lashon Hara. You don't really say anything bad about anybody. You just say things that enable other people to think down the line bad about other people. It's called the Avak Lashon Hara. So if we can take care of these things, then we will be able to rejoice in your salvation. Hashem will b'shem Eloheinu nidgel will raise the banner of Hashem on high. Yamale Adonai kol mishalei secha, and Hashem will fulfill all your heart's requests. Emergency. Now I know that Hashem saves his anointed one, Yanehu, answering him Mishmei Kodshe from his highest heavens. B'gevures Yesha Yemine, and with might, with strength, he sends salvation from his right hand. They come with their chariots and with their cavalry and with their weapons of war. We come with the name of Hashem on our lips. They stumbled and they fell. And they say that we stood up, and we are still standing 3,500 years after Avram and Sarah walked through Eretz Yisrael. Hashem is our God. He is our king, and he should deliver us on the day that we call. You know that Avram Avinu was a great king. We think of him as a patriarch. He was a king. All the nations of the world appointed him to be a king over them. He was fabulously wealthy, beyond measure, like we spoke about last week. And he gave everything, absolutely everything away to his son. Why? Because he knew that the future of the Jewish people and the future of mankind, the future of godliness in this world, depended on Yitzchak's shidduch, that he should get married to Rivka. And he didn't want any possibility of a slip-up. So therefore, in advance, he gave away everything that he owned to Yitzchak so that they would accept the shidduch. And they liked money. They were Avram's cousins. And they were very wealthy, not as wealthy as he was, they were very wealthy. And they liked money, big time. So he didn't want that no matter what he would offer them, they should say, but you know, there's more you could have offered us. Okay, Tanya, we're in chapter 2. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see all of you. We met over the kinnis, certain people. We met the shliach from Denmark,
Yes.
Rabbi Lowenthal. I know him since he was in the baby in arms.
Yeah.
Old friends. His father and I came to Chabad at the same time.
Yeah.
And I met the shliach from the Upper Hudson, Rabbi Sarabransky, another old friend. So we've been discussing, just by a quick review, how do we know that the neshama is connected to Hashem? So the Alter Rebbe gives us 2 examples to illustrate the idea, because it's an abstract idea, it's a spiritual idea. And one is that when you blow from deep inside. It says Hashem, that's the expression the Torah uses. Hashem blew a holy soul of life into the nostrils of man. And the second one is the idea that a child is created from the whiteness of the brain, or like we say in the common speech, I knew you before you were a twinkle in your father's eye. What's a twinkle in your father's eye? That means that a father wants to have a family. And when he sees the right person, and he knows that this is my other half, then he wants to have a family. And there's a shine that goes out from the eye. People send messages to each other through their eyes. Where does this shine come from? It says it comes from the whiteness of the mind, which means the very, very highest level of intellect, where the brain works. The highest, it's not intellect, it's even higher than intellect. Intellect is a quality of the mind, being smart. But the essential life force, energy in a person is much higher than that. And that's called lavanuni samoichin, hamoyach, lavnuni samoyach, the whiteness of the brain. And there's life before that too. There's higher levels of life before that too. And what the Alter Rebbe wants to tell us here is the same way that this is the source of the creative seminal drop that leads to the birth of a child. And every single organ in the child comes from this drop, gets its life, and through the 9 months that the mother is carrying the child, and the child develops from a drop into a human being. But a human being still without not fully developed, because the child in the mother's womb does not think or speak or move, gets all its life directly from the mother. And even as the Alter Rebbe says here, and even after the child is born, the child continues to receive life from this creative energy from the highest levels of the father's soul energy, called the whiteness of the brain. Well, that's amazing. And through that, you're connected with your father all your life. And he's connected with his father, and he's connected with his father, until it goes back that we have a connection with Avram and Yitzchak and Yaakov, Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, and Leah. Page 62. Sixty-one. The soul comes down level, many levels, till it's connected with the person, the physical body of the person. This is called Hishtalshalut, the bottom of page 60, of the worlds. And he mentions here 4 levels of worlds. 4 levels. Now, 4 is a very significant number. And I'm sure all of you can think of many things that you know about in Torah life connected with the number 4. Especially think about the Seder service on Passover, and Pesach. You have the 4 cups of wine, the 4 sons, the 4 expressions of redemption. All of these come back to the 4 letters of the name of God. Which is the whole order of creation. And for instance, let's imagine you have a whiteboard in front of you. You have a whiteboard, nothing on it. So what is there? You say, what's on the board? Nothing. Nothing's on the board. What's the teacher going to teach? You don't know. Whatever he's going to teach is going to start when he takes the marker and he writes something on the board. And the first thing he's going to write on the board is going to be a dot. Now, what is it before the pen hits the board? There's just an infinite potential. Maybe he's going to scribble something. Maybe he's going to write a tremendous piece of music. Maybe he's going to write a poem. Maybe he's going to write a play. Maybe he's going to write some secret of the universe. You don't know. You don't know. It's just potential. So now Hashem wants to create a world, and there's only Hashem. So that creation is going to have to start with a dot. The first act of creation, Hashem is going to limit all his wisdom and all his knowledge, and it's all there in that dot in potential. Because out of that dot is going to come Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. The whole Torah. And out of that dot comes a letter. Which letter? A Yud. So a Yud is a source of where Hashem is limiting all his knowledge into a dot. But that dot is so such a powerful amount of energy that the whole creation could come out of it. Which is higher? Which level is higher? Before the dot or after the dot? Before the dot. It's much higher. After the dot is already, we see what the potential was, but the potential is now less. So the Yud is the first letter of Hashem's name. And the Yud stands for the first level of creation. That is, what should we compare it to? The dot of sperm that creates a child. What is it before the husband gets married? Before there's any thought of a family. What is it? It's just part of the man's makeup. It's part of who he is, what he is. He has in him the potential to create a child, a family, so and so many children, and they'll all get married, and they will have children, and they will have children. And before you know it, you have 70 children, like Yaakov Avinu. But it all starts with this dot. And this dot is one thing with the Father. So in terms of creation, that initial dot that's the beginning of creation is one thing with God. But it's less, because before there was a dot, Hashem was more infinite than after the dot. So there's at different levels, even in infinity, in infiniteness, if we can say that. And we call that level the beginning of creation. That's where the creation begins. So creation begins with Hashem, in Hashem. He still didn't create anything outside of himself. There's nothing we can look at or point to and say that it's creation. It's still unified, one thing with God. That's the dot. That's the Yud of God's name. And that's called the world, that's called the whole world, a world that is unified with God. But obviously, it's on a lower level than before. We knew what it was. Oh, and then erase the board. I told you once I had a teacher, the first thing he did every day, he came in and he erased the board. And that gave all of us a chance to adjust our minds, to learn, to settle in to the learning mode. So here we have infinite potential, and what's going to come out of it, we don't know. There's the dot. That's what's all going to start, and everything is going to emanate from this dot. The whole creation of the universe from here. This is the explosion of life. Okay? And it's unified with it, because this is all godliness, right? There's an image for us to understand the idea of godliness. And this is called, the word etzel means close. Eitzel. And this is the world that's called Atzilus. Atzilus is a level of creation that is one thing with the Creator. Well, but it's still not a creation. We can't call it a creation yet. It's still God. Atzilus is God. It's godliness. So we need to shut off the light. There's too much light. Nobody can deal with this. Because if anybody is going to be there, they're going to go out of existence. It's like if you have a huge torch. I'm not a good artist to draw a torch for you. But let's say you have here many flames coming out from many wicks. And we have a huge torch here, a tremendous fire. And now I have here one candle, one flame. If I bring this flame into the torch, where's it going to be? Bring the flame into the torch. It's not there anymore. Disappears. So any detail of life disappears in the overall explosion of life. Okay? So we have to shut out and conceal this tremendous light so that we can get to the next level, which we can call a creation. When we get to this next level, now it's still very close to the source, but it's not the source anymore. So you could say, metaphorically, it's just a metaphor that Hashem had to create darkness. So that's why it says in the beginning of creation, in the book of Genesis, in the book of Bereshit, the darkness was on the face of the waters. So the darkness comes first. Without the darkness, there's nowhere to put the world. Hashem wants to create a world. Where's he going to put it? On Fifth Avenue. In the sock drawer with the socks. Where's it? He has to create a place where he's not there, apparently. Because if he's there, there's no room for the world. So this is the word, this is the level that we call the world of creation. And in Hebrew, that's Bria. But this is a very high holy world. Because look how close it is to the essence, to the source. This is only a place for the highest levels of life. And then we're going to have to do the same thing again. We're going to have to block that off. We're going to have to darken it, make a deeper darkness. And out of the deeper darkness can come more light. But now the light that's coming down is on a much lower level. So we call this a world of formation. Forms. You see, here this table. Who made the first table? Who made the first table? Who conceived of the idea of a table? What's a table? You take a board. It's just a piece of wood. And you take a stick, and another stick, and another stick, and another stick. Oh, we have a table. That's the idea. This is the idea of a table. It's not a table. We can't put anything on it. But it's the idea of a table. So we need a level of creation where we have now a creation. This is not godliness anymore. This is not pure God. This is a lower level of God. But it's still not anything. It's still just godliness. We need to come down to a lower level where we can see that creation is taking place. We can conceive that things have forms. We can conceive that the world has a shape. We can conceive of masculine, feminine. We can conceive of concepts. So there's a world of forms. We call this the world of formation. Which in Hebrew is called the world of Yetzirah. Yetzirah. Yetzirah means formation. But we still don't have anything. Much luck. Anything in the world of Yetzirah could not exist in the world of Bria. Anything in the world of Bria could not exist in the world of Atzilus. Atzilus is God. It's one thing with God. And we're going to do it, it's going to happen again. We're going to have to shut this light off because we can't live in a world of forms. So with Shalom, my wife says to me, pick up some challahs for Shabbos. What are challahs? I want, in the world of actuality, challahs from Cannes. Go to the bakery and get challahs. What's a bakery? Oh, it's a great idea. Place where they'll make bread. In the world of Yetzirah, we can conceive of a bakery. You can conceive it. You have a farmer, and he plants seed, and wheat grows, and we'll take the wheat, and we'll grind the wheat, and we'll have flour, we'll mix it with water, and we'll put it in an oven, we'll build an oven out of stones and bricks, and we'll have fire, we'll heat it up, and we'll knead together the flour and the water, and we'll make a shape, and we'll put it into the oven, we'll stick it onto the walls of the oven, and we're going to get a loaf of bread, we're going to have challah, take some string, we'll take some wax, we're going to have a candle, we're going to have Shabbos. That's all down here in the world of action. Those are just ideas. These are ideas. In the world of forms, those are just ideas. So here we need, things have to come down into action. Not just ideas, people, objects, everything coming from this initial dot, the explosion of life. Just like in a child, everything the child does is getting energy from the first thought of his father. And he's constantly connected to his father. Okay? And this is called the world of action, the world of Asiya. So we have four worlds which correspond to the four letters of the name of God. How so? Time's up. You'll have to come back tomorrow for the answer. How do these four worlds connect to the concept that Hashem's creative name has four letters? And that's what we'll pick up tomorrow. Bezras Hashem. You know, you can relate it to what you just witnessed over the Shabbos. That the Rebbe had an idea of sending out shluchim. And the shluchim would be his representative. When you are in a city and you see a shliach, you see the Rebbe. You don't see Rabbi so-and-so. Oh, it's the Lubavitcher. So the Rebbe. That's how you understand the Rebbe, until you come to meet the Rebbe on a deeper level. But your initial response to meeting this guy is, he's the Lubavitcher, he's the rabbi from Lubavitch. And then he had an idea, it would be a good idea, for the different shluchim that the Rebbe had sent out, that they should get together. So originally a few shluchim got together, and then a few more, and then a few more, went 10, 20 shluchim. And a special day they chose, which was this particular day of Rosh Chodesh Kislev, for a reason which you'll probably hear in a different shir. I'm not going to tell you the whole story now. And it grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew and grew. Yes, there was 6,500 more, close to 7,000. They didn't have room. All from all over the world, gathering up sparks, all these little flames leaping into the big torch, which is the cumulative soul of the Jewish people today. And it's our great privilege to be here. Every one of us. Every one of you has to know that for whatever reason you thought to come here at this time, that wasn't the real reason you came here. It was a much deeper reason that pulled you here to be part of this. What's happening now? L'chaim. I want to conclude with a wish that the specialness of these days should be realized in actuality, not just in potential, but in actual action. So that therefore we should try to do something good, actually, like to give a nickel to tzedakah because of this, something positive. And that Mrs. Pape, Solika Shulamas Bas Isa, should have a refuah shalema. She should be well. And then our class will be good. Also met yesterday at the kinnis, a woman named Rivka. Nice name, Rivka. From Crown Heights, who told me she tunes into this shir every morning with her husband. I don't know if she's on today. I didn't see her that she came up. So they listen to the shir every day. Rivka Greenbaum. If you meet Rivka Greenbaum, you can say hello, but we met you on the shir. And after every good thing, Remo Fried made a statement. After every concert, he takes a quarter and puts it in the pushkin. So after every good thing, we have to say a thank you to Hashem. We could do this. Baruch atah Adonai Olam. Pouring the functions rabbis for chesreinan al kol mashu b'rasach. If you're thinking, what good thing could I do? That's a good suggestion. That's a good idea. Is to have a copy of a siddur with the brachos in it. After you eat something, to try and remember to say the bracha afterwards. We'll see you tomorrow, Bezos Hashem, at 8:30. Don't come late. Thank you all for being here. Before, I'll tell you again. Sages teach us. I learned a lot from my teachers. I learned more from my friends, my colleagues, but most of all, I learned from my students. Thank you so much. Your names, I can't get your names straight. Moy and Noy.
Maya.
Maya?
Noya.
Noya and Maya.
Because Naya.
We have not Maya here. Sarah, Alex, Naomi, Izzy,
Abby.
Really?
Yeah.